I want to thank everybody for joining us today. This is going to be an amazing webinar today, and I'm delighted to say that this is the first in a series of procurement um, themed webinars that we will be having, especially with a lot of the high profile, high end events that we have coming up in the city of LA, amongst other types of procurement opportunities as well in other different areas. But on this one, I'm just really ecstatic about because we're talking about, 2028, right? But there's a number of things happening in between then and everything. But we want to know specifically, yeah, it's coming, but where are the opportunities at? How do we get access to them? What are the information that we need to know about getting access to them? And so this is the start of that. And I want to welcome in Ms. Samona Caldwell. She is the new director of Business Connect program with this LA Sports and Entertainment Commission. As director, Samona's primary role is to continue to grow and develop the Commission's signature supplier diversity initiative, Business Connect. She manages relationships with external and internal stakeholders, major event partners, suppliers, community members, and city and county leadership. And there's so much more to her, but I want to get to the meat of it, but just a brief introduction of who she is. And so thank you so much. I got to continue to watch the waiting room. They're coming in now.
Yes, yes,
Um,
thank you, Sarah.
but thank you so much for joining us today and welcome.
Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to share information about Business Connect. Again, this is my first external presentation in my new role, so I appreciate you all providing this space for me to talk about all things Business Connect. I know you're busy today, so I'll go ahead and get started, but after the presentation, we'll go ahead and open it up for Q&A. So before we start our conversation about Business Connect, I wanted to share more about the Los Angeles Sports and Entertainment Commission, otherwise known as LASCC. So for over 25 years, LASCC has been very instrumental in bringing some of the world's most renowned sports and entertainment events to our city. There is no other organization in Los Angeles that specifically focuses on driving economic and community impact through bidding on, securing, and hosting major high-profile events for sports and entertainment here in LA. And LASCC is a 501c3 California nonprofit public benefit corporation. Our organization also actively engages with local diverse suppliers to maximize procurement opportunities in partnership with these high-profile events through our program, Business Connect, which is what we're going to talk about today. You can go to the next slide, Sarah. Thank you. So the program Business Connect was initially a signature program of the NFL events department designed to build a direct procurement link between experienced local diverse businesses and NFL special event vendors and event producers. So as part of our Super Bowl, it was the 57 efforts or 56, LASCC first launched Business Connect in October 2020 to make sure that we had time to prepare our suppliers for all things in event production for the event. So given its success, legacy, and impact, LASCC requested and received permission from the NFL to implement an independently LA-based Business Connect program to support future sports and entertainment events here in LA. So Business Connect supports minority, women, LGBTQIA+, persons with disability, and veteran-owned businesses through professional development sessions, networking events, and access to subcontracting opportunities. Also, our program is a nationally recognized supplier diversity initiative with 9 years of industry experience and a successful track record in securing contracts for local and diverse subcontractors across 17 markets nationwide. Next slide. So currently we have about 200 suppliers in the program focused on event production, and our demographics make up the following. So we have about 79% of minority owned businesses, 57% women owned, 9% LGBTQIA plus owned, and then 6% veteran owned. We are gearing up to add more suppliers within these demographics listed, as well as in addition to those businesses that are owned with persons with disabilities, especially with the Paralympics coming up in 2028. So since its inception, Business Connect members support over 8,000 jobs and represent 65 communities throughout Los Angeles County. Next slide. All right, so you're probably wondering, well, how do I get to be a part of this program? Well, to be invited to apply to the LASCC Business Connect program, you must be an experienced, local, diverse supplier with the capacity to meet the subcontracting needs of LASCC event partners, such as NBA All-Star, World Cup, etc. LASCC and our major event partners like the NFL, MLB, as mentioned before, especially FIFA coming up, and the Olympics, all require you all be certified to participate in their supplier diversity program. So we want to make sure that we assist you with your certification efforts. With Business Connect, we define local as any company that fits within the geographic footprint of the event that we are contracted to support. Diverse by our definition, again, is any business that is at least 51% owned by an individual who is a minority, a woman, LGBTQIA+, person with disability, or a veteran. It's important to us that our workplace and the companies we do business with have access to a workforce that, of course, is inclusive and representative of the state of California and Los Angeles. Our teams, both internal and external, welcome people of different backgrounds, of national origins, all gender identities across all socioeconomic statuses. Our vetting process is also a multi-step verification process. It's worked again successfully in 17 markets nationwide. The system that we currently use was customized to identify the capacity, business acumen, and expertise of each company under consideration. So our team is trained to confirm the diverse ownership and financial viability of each applicant. Next slide. So Business Connect follows federal guidelines on certifications, and we accept the Big Five as well as other select local city and state certifications. They are listed on the slide here. I know I've talked to several businesses recently that have not been certified, but I am definitely committed to working with a lot of our business organizations, our chambers, Sarah, and the folks to provide you resources so you have access to certification opportunities. Next slide. So when we talk about event production, what does that mean? So the disciplines on the slide list the most requested and typical business disciplines under event production utilized by current event partners producing premier sports and entertainment events. Business Connect was designed to scale in size and scope and has built relationships in Los Angeles that will easily allow us to add new suppliers to existing business lines and disciplines and create new service and products lines as needed to meet the subcontracting needs of our event partners. So some of the disciplines that you see on the screen here, like for audio visual, there may be a couple of subcategories under that. So we are looking into each discipline to determine, again, based on the needs of our event partners, how we can include more folks in these disciplines. Next slide. So after Super Bowl, we had the opportunity to participate in some other major events in LA. And so here are a few that our suppliers were participants in with great success. And as a result, some of them have been asked to even take on more additional projects and have been giving other opportunities with clients that we've introduced them to through the program. And I must say, our Business Connect suppliers, they've done a great job of working our network. They always tell you to work your network. So when you get into something, you make sure you take advantage of those opportunities. And they've worked hard to become the go-to suppliers for several venues and events. And some have had repetitive business. So we're definitely excited about that. The other events that are coming up, or some of the events that are listed here, we'll just say the Super Bowl, of course, that's what brought Business Connect to Los Angeles. We have the college football playoffs, national championship. That was a huge success for a lot of our Business Connect suppliers that had opportunities to work those events there. WrestleMania, another one that we got involved with. And of course, you have the Grammy Awards, BET, SB, and the US Open Championship. Of course, all additional events in which our Business Connect suppliers were contracted because of the connections and experience working with our program and our partners. Next slide. So as you all have heard, we have lots of things coming to LA. And so listed here are a few of the major events coming within the next 4 years. So these events present a lot of opportunity for local and diverse businesses. So just as the athletes and others prepare for these upcoming events, I'm encouraging you all, excuse me, as local businesses to do the same to be competitive in your business discipline. So for this year, we have the NCAA Men's Division Championships going on. We have NBA All-Star and the U.S. Women's Open Championship and FIFA in 26. And of course, we have the Super Bowl in 2027. And then to culminate all of the sports events for the 4 years, we have the Olympics and the Paralympics in 2028. So definitely looking forward to working with those event partners. Next slide. So before we open up for Q&A, again, I didn't want to take up too much of your time today. Just wanted to provide you an overview of Los Angeles Sports Entertainment Commission and our Supplier Diversity Initiative, Business Connect, just so you can kind of see if it's something that, number one, if you're, meet the criteria to join and you want to be a part of it, you could just, submit an interest form. But just basically wanted to let you know about the program. I am going to be recruiting soon, probably the latter part of the year. So again, trying to get the word about our program to as many organizations and folks as possible, because I want to make sure we have a seat at the table when we're having these conversations about folks in the event production space that can work with some of these larger events. So I'd like to share a quick video from one of our suppliers highlighting their success and participation in Business Connect, as well as their community involvement. Some of you may even know them. They're Joe and Celia Ward-Wallace from South LA Cafe.
I'm Joe Ward-Wallace at South LA Cafe. I'm one of the co-founders and co-CEO, I guess.
And I'm Celia Ward-Wallace, co-everything as well as wifey. And this is South LA Cafe, a community coffee shop, market, and cultural center located in the heart of South Central LA.
Where do I begin? Where do we start? Honestly, just an idea of wanting to open up a little small coffee shop. 500-600 square feet, Costco muffins, and some drip coffee. Because I really got tired of having to go out of my neighborhood to find good coffee or what I thought was good coffee.
And at that time, as residents that live right around the corner, we knew that this community was suffering with lack of access to fresh, healthy, and affordable food. And they were dealing with feeling like they were being displaced from their community. So being able to create a sacred space, a community space where, yes, we were drawing them in with coffee. Our tagline is Coffee, Community, Connection.
Right.
And so we say the coffee brings the community and the connection is what they receive.
So when we signed up for Business Connect, I expected the world. I mean, I was excited. I heard about what they were doing before, and then for us to have the opportunity to be a part of it.
It was an honor.
Beyond that, I felt like we won the lottery. I heard that they were helping companies be a part of Super Bowl. And I knew what that would do for our company. We already have our credibility in our community, but it would open it up to the world. So I was excited about that.
The great thing about it is we were selected. We're part of an elite group of women and minority-owned businesses that are here in Los Angeles that are preferred vendors for all of the amazing events that are going to happen in Los Angeles and hopefully even beyond.
Talking to people in this community, this is their cafe. This community has wrapped their arms around us. They have really taken this cafe as their own.
And I think that the impact has been the ripple effect of boosting the economy, We've hired local people, given jobs, living wage jobs, opportunities to transition into middle wage jobs. And then we also have all of our social programs that we offer. Our primary one being
the grocery giveaway.
The South LA grocery giveaway, where in under 2 years, we've already fed over 100,000 people in our community.
And talk about impact again with that. It's hard work to put together this grocery giveaway every week. But the reason I do it, or the why, I used to be in those lines. You know, my mom and I, we went to the food banks and we didn't feel great. They didn't make you feel great. So when it's time now that we're the provider of that, I wanted to make sure that the people in the line feel celebrated, that they feel happy to be here. So there's our free grocery bag every week. We'll be here as long as we can.
Thank you for sharing that. That's just a snippet of some of our Business Connect suppliers that have been a part of the program and that have, achieved success from their networking abilities and opportunities to take advantage of, those conversations that they're having with the event producers and suppliers to be a part of again, having a seat at the table. So just to confirm, LASCC, we're an advocate for procurement opportunities and supplier diversity. We support its innovation. You guys all bring new perspectives, mindsets, and ideas. Of course, competition, supplier diversity creates competition among diverse businesses, which of course can increase the quality of goods and services. As they talked about in the video, economic growth. Your businesses, of course, are a tool for economic growth and job creation, especially in often overlooked communities, and how diverse supply chains contribute to improved financial performance. And lastly, you all contribute to the long-term sustainability of the cities in which you have your businesses. So, next slide, please.
Oh.
So this is my contact information. I am your direct contact as a director for the Business Connect program with LASCC. If you click on the QR code, it will take you directly to the Business Connect webpage on the LASCC website. If you are interested in just learning more about it, of course, we have an FAQ section on that page. And also, if you click on a button that says, I would like more information, you can click on that and then you can enter your business contact information, and then we'll put you in our database. So when we start to send out communications regarding our recruiting process and just sharing information, we'll make sure that you are a part of that. But you are more than welcome to call or email me if you want to have just a sidebar conversation about the information shared today. Next slide. All right, so again, didn't want to take up too much of your time today. I know you all are super busy. Wanted to give you a high-level overview of not only the Los Angeles Sports Entertainment Commission, but also Business Connect. And so I will now open it up for Q&A, and we'll go from there. Thank
I
you.
know. Thank you so much. What an amazing, wonderful presentation. You did excellent. Awesome. Thank you. And for replay's sake, I have forgot to even introduce myself. I am Sarah Harris, President and CEO of the Black Business Association. And as you can see, the Black Business Association since 1970 has been advocating for the advancement of Black businesses. And this is one of the ways in which we do that, right? So we have, let's see, I don't know if is it okay, yes. We have a question from Sharon Evans. And it says, huh? Oh,
I was saying hi to Sharon. Yeah,
yeah, it's great to see you. So let's see. She said, I did not see CUCP dot agency, the DBE certs, or CPUC's, which is the California Public Utility Commission, DBE certifications. I guess on that list that prior you had on the screen. Will the Business Connect accept these designations?
Yes, and again, we just mentioned the top 5 that we're used to working with, but we said also select certifications from the state and the city as well. So yeah, we accept those. Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, and Barbara Wilson wants to know, can we share the slides? Can you share the slides? So,
All
you
the
know,
information on the slides are basically on the website. So we have all our criteria information. We have you know, what you need to do to be a part of the program. So all that information is on the website. And again, if you have questions, you can contact me directly.
is that LASEC dot is it you
.net.
your dot net because your
Yeah,
email had dot
it's US.
US.
Yeah, yep.
Okay. I was gonna try and pull it up real quick, but let's see, where was it? Um,
While you're doing
here.
that, I did see a question in the chat that said you have to have been open since February of 2020. And yes, we are suggesting that you be in business for at least 3.5 years, just so we can show that our suppliers that you have some stability, because they're looking for that as well. I'm sure you all have heard um, you know, the challenges that we're facing legislatively and with corporations as it relates to procurement and supplier diversity. So we try not to give them any room to wiggle as far as not wanting to utilize some of our local and diverse businesses. So from our sweet spot in dealing with, you know, across these 17 market areas, we're finding that, you know, that 3.5 year spot is what makes it for them.
So this is the page that you would come to regarding about Business Connect and start to find more information about everything, eligibility,
Okay, yep.
certifications,
And there are more listed and the disciplines
business.
and yep.
I
And
love
then
the array of business disciplines. I mean, there's opportunity here in many different ways. So yeah.
yep. And then
We
there's
have
also some other video testimonials if you want to hear about other folks, you know, their experience in dealing with Super Bowl. We're you know going to revamp the website a little bit, but while they're still there, if you want to take a look at those, you're welcome to do so. Just to see there's different industries on there, different business disciplines. So you can see the wide variety of folks that we work with in the program.
Mhm. Wonderful. So I put the link in the chat to that page as well.
Thank you.
Okay, another question in here. What if we're backed by a national franchise?
I think one of our current suppliers is, so she has a signage firm, and so, but she's a part of a larger entity, and so she's a part of our program. So I would say that's fine. Again, as long as you've been in business locally, that we can support that for that 3.5 years.
Anybody else with questions? Okay, raised hands. Who's got a raised hand?
That would be Ardina.
Oh, there you are, Adrena. Okay.
Hi.
Hi, good morning, Samona. Beautiful
Morning.
presentation and congratulations
Thank
on the
you.
position. Yeah, and actually, some of the questions I had was really already been answered, but when you spoke on capacity and then you also mentioned financial, excuse me, financial liability, could you speak a little bit on that?
So when we talk about capacity, meaning, you know, what's the maximum customer base you can serve? So as you can imagine, if you have like a hospitality contract for Super Bowl, you know, they're going to need you, like say if it was for a floral, you know, they need flowers. So can you, if they needed like 10,000 tulips, are you able to provide that for them? Or like if you are a catering company and they needed to feed 1,000 of their workers, are you, you know, do you have the capacity to prepare food and have food delivered for all of those people? So when we talk about capacity, especially with these larger events, that's what we're talking about, the numbers and the capability of your organization to be able to serve and provide goods and services. The financial stability, of course, you know, we want you to be stable. Like if you did have a huge order come in for that $1,000, you know, or for 1,000 folk, you know, catering order, is it going to break the bank for you to be able to put on, you know, to serve the food and deliver the food, or are you okay to still handle that and then maintain your business? Another thing that we are talking about having a workshop on is about insurance, right? So a lot of folks don't really understand the concept of insurance, especially when you are talking about these larger events. So I know for some of the, like we just did our Lakers All Access event, and even for some of our vendors that have participated, we got it down, but they needed $1 million worth of liability insurance. And sometimes they require you to have that for 30 days or longer, just depending on the length of the contract. So when we talk about, capacity, excuse me, and then the financial abilities and liability, that's what we're talking about, thinking in those terms.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
It
Okay.
does.
Just want to make sure I'm answering correctly. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Another thing
Okay.
that I wanted to mention real quickly, Sarah, is, you know, there are lots of conversations around, especially the Olympics coming to Los Angeles. Everyone's excited about it. You have multiple programs talking about, oh, we're going to get local diverse businesses, how this is going to work out. And everybody is working to do the best for our local diverse businesses. We're having conversations on defining what a small business is, right? So are you talking about mom and pop? Are you talking about 1,000? Are you using the state's definition of a small business, or the federal government's definition? So we're trying to work all that out, because again, even if there's an opportunity for like a business that has maybe 100 employees to get a contract for something, is there an opportunity for them to subcontract with a smaller business that's like a mom and pop, maybe 5 to 10 employee shop? So then they have not only the opportunity to learn and to experience, but they're being mentored by that organization, the larger company and organization as well. So we're having all these discussions, but I will let you know that we probably will not know in depth about what their needs are, especially in the event production space in which I work in, until we have those conversations with the FIFA, with the NBA. So I'm starting to have those conversations. Everybody has a database. We're combining and collaborating with our databases just to make sure everybody is inclusive of who they have on their list. So I just want to tell you, don't fret, but I am sincerely an advocate and taking on this role and making sure that we have a voice, meaning we representing local diverse small businesses, have a seat at the table, so folks know that they just can't, push us to the side and do the status quo like they used to do. They have to make sure that they include us in these opportunities.
Excellent. Sharon, you have a question?
There. Yes, I do. This is really great. It's so good to see you. It's been 3 decades.
It's been a long time. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
been
yeah.
a long time. And you don't look any different.
Oh, good. You don't either.
I know. How do we do that? So the question that I'm really asking, I mean, this is a tsunami of opportunities, and thank you for stepping out of your retirement to do this, right? So the question I have is, as you're interfacing with the owners, to determine their needs, obviously you're using the programmatic contracting scorecards. But how do you envision partnering with our local infrastructure to create some type of mobilization readiness programs, as well as mobilization resource bench? Because there's going to be a variety of resources that are necessary. There's so much of a dance going on right now to figure out, how we're going to deliver services and who's going to be on top, and all that stuff happens in LA. And we have to figure out how to collaborate. So how do you envision that unfolding? And what influence do you have on that?
Well, I can say I have influence within my program, the Business Connect program, hence the
Right.
reason why we are trying to get as many folks under our tutelage as possible. So then you do have this advocate. But I am, as I mentioned earlier, collaborating with the LA 28 folks, with MBA, FIFA, all those folks, the procurement team, to say, hey, don't count us out last, right? Don't say, oh, here's what we have left over. We want to have these discussions up front. So I have requested calls with these people, Zoom meetings, so we can start the conversation early, so it's not like an afterthought for us. And so that's it, what I'm doing to make sure that we have a seat at the table. To your point about resources and what that looks like, I am not about reinventing the wheel. So if I can work with the LA Chamber, so they have a program that they're instituting, they have LA1 and they have Get in the Game. So how can we share resources? And we've all had this conversation. Like each of us have our own little program, right? And we're doing all different things, but how can we help? So even with the city's program, RAMP, we're figuring out how we can collaborate with them. So if they have folks maybe in event production that are not a part of our program, how can we pull them in the fold? So again, folks have visibility, right? And then an opportunity to get these bids and contracts that are coming. I my just looking at the bigger picture and from what I've experienced in this role as of late, I think it's important to have that initial conversation with these people. Waiting till the end to say, okay, here's what we have left over. It's not going to work for me. I want to be again a part of that initial conversation to say, hey, if you have a hospitality suite or hospitality large company, production company, what are going to be your needs for our folks for in Inglewood or at SoFi or at the Intuit Dome? What does that look like? And how can we plug in our folks early instead of waiting until you say, oh, we've already picked 10 people for this, so then we have 3 left over. No, that's not going to sit well with me. So again, being a vocal advocate as much as I can and being professional about it to make sure that, again, local businesses are having the opportunities. I again, I've talked to so many people. We're all on the same calls, having the same conversation about scaling up, about capacity, about what does that look like? How do we get these resources to our local and diverse businesses, and how can we make them better again, so we can help make sure that they're competitive in this environment coming up. And so and I'll just put a plug in for Business Connect. So for me, not only am I working with the larger events, but my goal is to make sure that our suppliers have consistent opportunities in between the big events. So and this is what happened with Super Bowl. So you have Super Bowl. So luckily we were able to find, some opportunities for WrestleMania and the college, football playoff. So we were able to do that. But, I'm working with the LA Convention Center. I'm working with the Clippers. I'm gonna probably dab into some hotel stuff if I can. I know they're unionized, but hey, still, where can we plug in? Because I think it's important, especially like I said, with all the legislative stuff coming down and what it's all starting to look like. We want to make sure we still have a seat at the table.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Awesome. Ardina?
Mhm. And first of all, I don't even know if I said good morning before,
That's
and to you,
okay.
Ms. Harris.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. And I don't know also if I'm being repetitive. I'm sorry. We we hear about these opportunities all the time, and now with all of these big opportunities coming. My question is there okay, as far as collaborating, I'm with the LA South Chamber, we got all these chambers, we have all these different organizations, but is there a way that we can have some way to prepare us for these opportunities? We have people that do all these different things, but a lot of times we don't even qualify for whatever the reasons are. But I have found, like I was with Metro, I was certified with Metro for over 5 years. I mean, nothing ever happened out of that. But I think there's a gray area when it comes to getting these contracts. The opportunities there, but how do you go through the process, the RFPs, the RFQs, so that your paperwork, everything is in order, so that now that the opportunities are ahead of us, that
Mhm.
how can we be prepared for them?
Yeah.
If
I'm sorry. Go ahead, sir.
Sorry, I was gonna say if I may jump in just
Yes.
real quick,
Absolutely.
because part of what I was going to be putting in as an announcement was the BBA will be hosting our spring cohort, and I'll go ahead and pop it in. There's information too. It's coming up on April 10th, and it's a 4-week series on Wednesdays. And it deals precisely with that, learning and understanding the process of getting certified, capability statements, all procurement process and all of that sort of stuff. And then we want to also start to build towards that extra step of, helping you to identify and understand what type of opportunities are out there once you are certified and ready to go. But our job is to help you to be contract ready, to get to the point so that the opportunities that Business Connect and others have, when we refer and say, hey, this is a opportunity here, then and match them up, they know that you're ready to go. So that's the BBA has a spring cohort coming up, and we will host one in the spring and the fall. And following that too, we're going to be inviting like Business Connect and others to come out to a procurement exchange summit on May 8th, where they'll be able to come with those opportunities and you can be able to meet them, and the primes will be in the place regarding what kind of contract opportunities are there, so that you'll begin to be in the room and in the experience of it all, of getting those contracts. So just wanted to put that in
And there, like, and there you have it.
there.
And so, and it's
Thank
true.
you.
It's, I would definitely keep reaching out to whatever organizations that you are involved with, business organizations. Sorry, my dog's going crazy. Um, just to make sure that they are providing you these opportunities, like you said, how to write a capability statement, how, cybersecurity, what does that look like for you? Just making sure you have all your ducks in a row. Like I said, the athletes have to prepare and get ready. So do we as local business owners, right? We got to make sure that, like she said, we're contract ready. The other part about it is, I think, too, just to be forthcoming. Everybody's not going to get a contract. To your point, you've been with that organization, Metro, for 5 years, and you said nothing came out of it. First of all, advocate for yourself a little bit more. I'm gonna say that. But secondly, we are trying to figure out, what does that matchmaking process look like? So for Business Connect folks, like they said the same thing. Like, there's only a few people that got contracts for Super Bowl. Well, moving forward, we're trying to be more transparent to say, hey, this particular prime needs this. If you can't fit this criteria, then don't apply. So then they already know up front, yeah, I can't do that based on their capabilities, like you said, and if they're able to, handle the financial commitment that's needed to either take on that order or not. So we're trying to make sure that we have enough information to be transparent about those opportunities. So there's no one saying, well, I thought I was going to get selected, or I didn't get an opportunity. But what does that look like? There's so many people that are looking for opportunities. So again, you can't, we're just not saying you're going to get it, but making sure that you have the best chance and opportunity to get it. And this is a great cohort to be a part of in order to start preparing yourself for that.
And then one more question, Ms. Harris, will that program teach you how to fill out those RFPs and RFQs?
Yes, it will be an overview of, yes, the bidding, the proposal process.
Okay, got it. Great.
And we're probably going to have some of those as well. I know in prior years, just based on my research of all things Business Connect and Super Bowl, we did the same thing. We had folks that, from NFL, from the NBA, from different entities, talk about their needs and what they wanted to see when working with local diverse businesses for their procurement opportunities and supplier diversity. Um, Also, I know, and this is just to save the date, on October 10th, um, I'm on the committee working with AEG in the city of LA. They're going to have a sports and entertainment supplier diversity summit. And I'll make sure I get that information once the flyer and everything is printed to Sarah so she can share it with you all. But again, and it's open to everyone. Another great opportunity to not only hear from some folks that have, experienced what all this looks like, what they did to prepare, how they got their contracts, and how they, capitalize on those opportunities. But then we're asking, like I said, the teams, the venues, folks to come and then have that real-time conversation with you all to say, this is what we're looking for. So there's no question, and there's no secret about what you all need to do to prepare to move forward.
Excellent, excellent.
Hey, Sarah.
Yes.
Sarah, it's Roz. I can't, I'm in the car, I parked, but I couldn't see how to raise my hand, but I did have a question.
Okay, Ross, go ahead.
Okay, I think some of the opportunities that we talk about as small businesses, I kind of rely on how we can collaborate together to go together to answer an RFP. And I'm wondering if the BBA, as well as other business organizations, look to do networking sessions where people can start to partner together to go together for the contract, the bigger contracts. And then, so I'm wondering, that was a question to the BBA and any other chambers that's there, that they may want to look at that, where we could partner together for an opportunity. And then the other thing is maybe towards Sharon and some other financiers. We have a problem when you're going for opportunities where she talked about capacity. the capacity in being able to front the monies that's necessary to supply the stuff that's there, we need financing. And is there any opportunity, or do the LA Connect look for opportunities where people can get some of the financing that, and I forgot what they call it, tracking, where they're coming to give
Factoring.
factoring, right?
Yeah.
Where they're coming to give based on the contract opportunity, they would loan the money to get that done. So I guess it's a double question and just a concern.
Okay, so the first one on coming together to bid. I imagine that if it's different for different agencies or not, maybe for Business Connect, how have you had that before, or and if so, how does that work?
Well, I will tell you that I know a lot of our folks utilize one another. So we have like one production company, and he'll use the caterer, who'll use somebody else within the program. So we cross-pollinate, utilize each other, and help each other,
Yes.
grow and understand and get
Yes.
learning opportunities. I will tell you, I was on a webinar, and I always get the acronym mixed up, so please pardon me, but this SoCal Minority Supplier Diverse Council, is that right? Okay.
I think you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And, a gentleman was there talking about what is this all going to look like for local diverse businesses moving forward. And he said just what you said, Ross. He said, look, you all going to have to figure out ways to collaborate, because no longer are they
Right.
looking for the mom and pop, one or two employee
Exactly.
type of businesses to support. So he encouraged everybody on the call, if there are,
Yes.
business disciplines where you all can do the same thing, so you can, show a bigger profile for that capacity, to go for some of these bids, do that, because he said they're not looking for those anymore. And it's unfortunate. Again, he was coming from a
Yes.
legislative perspective, but we have to do whatever's going to get there to get us right. So I am all for collaborating. And there are folks that have talked about collaborating. I mean, we even had an event with LA Tourism, where there was a kind of an assignment, and so they had different people from different business disciplines sit down and talk about how would they come up with a plan. Like, say if there was a tourism opportunity for someone who came to Los Angeles, so like, hey, I would go to this restaurant first, this soul food restaurant, then we can go to this event and do this. So how could all these people work together to create this experience for folks that are coming to LA for these big events? So we even talked about that. So there's so many opportunities. Again, I also encourage you to look at LA Tourism. They have some people on their list, and they work with people as well. So again, lots of resources. It's a matter of structuring them and utilizing them to the best of your benefit so you can become contract ready.
Excellent. And
Yes.
then her
Excellent.
second part too as far as the
Factor.
capacity to be able to fulfill the contract.
With financial.
I do know that through the BBA, we've been presented with different companies and that can come in. If you got a contract, they will facilitate financing it, and that's pretty much all that you need. If it's like with certain agencies that they are familiar with, that they can do that. But does Business Connect also provide any resources or information to help people that in that way?
Yes, we do. So within Business Connect, we have our corporate partners and our marketing partners. And of course, we utilize them to make sure that we have those opportunities for our Business Connect suppliers. So if, there could be an opportunity to talk about funding and what that looks like, or a small business grant or loan. And I find those across the board too. As soon as I see them with different organizations, I send them to my suppliers as well. So not just internally, but wherever they come from, right? I'm sharing the information because I think sharing is wealth. Sharing information as
Mm-hmm,
well.
mm-hmm.
A lot of people want to keep it tied to the chest, but in order for us to be successful in this space, we need to start sharing resources and collaborating.
Mhm.
Great.
Thank you.
Quick question. Thank you. Is there, so one of the techniques that we've been real successful in working to get collaboration advanced is use of master service agreements. I saw you had Kurt Tom on there. So she had a master service agreement, and then we put a series of diverse suppliers behind her as subcontractors. Will LA sports commission and LA Sports have any ability to influence the terms within those master service agreements. We do a lot of them at the county level, but if we could, will you have the ability to say, hey, we'll open up this, we'll do master service agreements as a contracting mechanism, but we'll require 20% local business participation or 20 or something of that nature. Is that within your scope, or is that being deferred to the actual owners?
Well, I mean, I will tell you, I don't have the specific answer for that. And simply because, like, for example, for FIFA, we're just now starting to have conversations with them. We don't even know what their ask is going to be. So we don't know if their requirements as far as having 20 or 30% of local diverse suppliers. So we're just starting those conversations. We can suggest it. I don't think we can mandate it. I think if there was more of a conversation from a citywide or countywide perspective, maybe they have more, we'll just say, muscle to to put in the requirements and mandates. But all we can do is say this is what has served us best in the past, working with our primes, and we think that to create sustainability, this is what it'll look like, moving forward in the future if you do X, Y, Z. So yeah, we can suggest, but we can't mandate or require.
Thank you.
In mentioning those talks that you're having, like with FIFA, and you were earlier, you said that you would be engaging with taking in proposals. That would be the latter part of the year. Like, what kind of timing are you in?
You mean for the recruitment for Business Connect?
Yes.
Yeah, so right now we're doing some, like I said, revamping of the website. We're creating a portal for external folks to use, especially some of the events folks, and then as well as for people to go in there who are part of the program or who will be a part of the program to update, their information. So then when, primes are looking at them, they have a full profile of the business. So we're hoping to have that done by June or July. Again, that's why I'm asking people, if you see that, I want more information, click that button, because at some point I'm going to be sending out a communication to everyone saying, hey, here's what's happening. Here's what's going on. Here's some opportunities for us to connect and meet. And so we just want to make sure, again, that we're clear on the needs. But what we do in the interim is we do have workshops similar to what you mentioned before, Sarah, as far as capability statements and your elevator pitch and the different certification opportunities. So we are going to have those in the interim, and then talking about insurance, cybersecurity, social media branding. What does that all look like? Again, in preparation for all things to come. So I will keep you posted and definitely send you an email, Sarah, when that's about to happen. So not only will I send it to those who have signed up via the website, but then also to the organizations that I'm affiliated with and have partnerships with, to let you all know so you can apply.
Awesome. 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 So are there any more questions? This was fabulous. I don't know about you, but this was amazing. Are there any more questions as we roll out? We kind of did go a full, it was a power hour, as I had stated in the description. This was a power hour, I feel.
Yes.
If there are no more questions, I just have one last announcement. Of course, I know I got to announce it. It's like we're having Salute to Black Women on next Saturday, the 23rd. And here it is in the chat. And just would love for you, anybody who hasn't registered to sign up to, come on and be with us. It's going to be an amazing, amazing day. And of course, Miss Samona Caldwell is one of our panel speakers. So you'll be able to get some more tidbits out of her
Yes.
on that day. But thank you so much, everybody, for joining here. Stay in touch with the BBA, because we're going to stay in touch with Business Connect, and there'll be some more connecting between us and different things that we'll be doing and sharing information. So yeah, thank you very much, Samona.
Thank you
This
so
was
much.
wonderful. Appreciate this so much.
Yes, have a great rest of your day. Remember, I'm out here advocating, whether Business Connect or not, but making sure we have a seat at the table. So reach out to me if anyone has any questions or thoughts or concerns.
Exactly.
All
All
right.
right. Have a good rest of your day. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You too. Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye.